Here's a strange thing you've probably seen, but never understood. Look at any large organization. The most capable person, the true problem solver, the one who seems irreplaceable, is often watched the closest. They have more oversight, more second-guessing, more checks on their power. Meanwhile, the person who just follows the manual, doesn't rock the boat, and does an okay job, their position is almost unshakable.
This isn't about a bad boss or office politics. This is by design. And if you're good enough, it means the system has already started adjusting around you.
Today, we're going to crack open a brutal truth. Why systems that live on efficiency are secretly terrified of the very people who created. Our gut says more talent should equal more trust, more freedom. The system's logic says the exact opposite. More talent equals more risk.
Here's the system's cold calculation. The cost of a mistake. If a mediocre person fails, it's a small fire. If your star performer fails, they can burn down the whole building. Their impact is so big that a single error is catastrophic. The dependency problem. The more specialized and brilliant they are, the harder they are to replace. The system becomes dependent on them. And nothing hates dependency more than a system built for control. The control paradox. When someone becomes truly irreplaceable, they also become fundamentally uncontrollable. And that is the ultimate threat. So the system has a choice: maximize brilliant performance or guarantee its own survival. It always chooses survival. The distrust isn't personal, it's risk management. And the moment you become truly valuable, you quietly enter that risk category. The philosopher Han Feizi nailed this 2,300 years ago. He said, the greatest danger to a leader is never the external enemy. It's the brilliant, capable subordinate right beside them. Why? Because talent is a tool. And a tool in the hands of an ambitious person who's not fully under your control can be turned against you. So systems build in defenses. 1. Break the chain. No one person is allowed to see or control the whole process. Work is split, so people are forced to depend on each other. This creates natural checks and balances. 2. Steal the secret sauce. If you have a genius way of doing things, the system will study you, document it, and turn it into a standard procedure for everyone. Your magic becomes a common manual. Your value gets transferred from your brain to the company's playbook. 3. Separate thinking from doing. The brilliant person can execute, but the final say, the judgment call, is kept by someone higher up. The system reserves the right to think for itself.
Suspicion of star performers isn't a personality flaw in your boss. It's a structural feature of the machine. This isn't ancient history. It's the daily reality in every elite organization.
Case 1. Silicon Valley's genius teams. At Google or Meta, a lone engineer might have a world-changing idea. but they will never be allowed to build it alone. Instantly, a team forms around them. Product managers, lawyers, other engineers. Their role shifts from visionary creator to key input. Meanwhile, access to critical code and systems is divided, so no single person holds the keys. The system wants the genius spark, but it must prevent the genius from becoming a single point of failure. Case 2, Wall Street's Caged Wolves. Banks like Goldman Sachs were once built on star traders, lone wolves who bet big and won bigger. No more. Now, any major trade must be approved by a committee. Their strategies are torn apart by risk models. Their massive bonuses are paid out over years. The system still wants their killer instinct, but it's been surgically removed from the person and baked into a controllable process. The wolf is fed, but the cage is reinforced. Case 3, the corporate rotation game. At a giant like Procter & Gamble, imagine a country CEO who turns a failing market into a gold mine. Headquarters loves the profits, but fears the power. That CEO has built a local empire, loyal troops, their own way of doing things. So the system plays its card, the rotation. They get promoted to a different region, a different product line. Anywhere they have to start from zero. It's framed as career development. In reality, it's a power reset. It breaks up their personal kingdom and tests where their loyalty really lies, to their own team or to the distant HQ. Here's the part most people miss. These controls aren't random, they're signals. The system doesn't just cage talent. It's constantly testing one thing. Are you merely capable, or are you controllable? And this is where most high performers make a fatal mistake. The system's defense against top talent isn't a one-time thing. It's a constant 3-layer filter, and most people only recognize it after it's already cost them their leverage. Layer 1. The credit laundering machine. When you do something amazing, the system quickly rewrites the story. It wasn't your brilliance, it was the strength of our platform, our collaborative culture, the process working as designed. Your individual achievement is laundered into a systemic one. This stops you from building a power base of your own. Layer 2. The competence copy machine. As soon as you figure out a unique, better way to work, management will document it, standardize it, and teach it to the intern. What made you special becomes common knowledge. Your unfair advantage is photocopied until it's worthless. The value moves from you to the handbook. Layer 3, the loyalty stress test. The system will sometimes poke you. It will suddenly change your budget, move a key project away from you, or bring in a supposed rival. The goal isn't to make you quit. It's to see how you react under pressure. Do you get emotional, fight the change, and become unpredictable? Or do you stay calm, keep performing, and prove your competence is matched by your compliance? This is the final exam. Now, algorithms are taking this to its logical end. The system's final answer to the problem of brilliant people is not to manage them, but to make them unnecessary. Talent gets coded. The best doctor's diagnostic skill becomes an AI model. The trader's intuition becomes an algorithm. Judgment gets automated. Who gets a loan? What content goes viral? These decisions leave human hands for cold, calculated code. Value gets transferred. True irreplaceability no longer lives in a human mind. It lives in proprietary software and data sets the company owns and controls forever. Human systems were built to control extraordinary talent. Algorithmic systems are being built to replace it. When genius can be copied and pasted, the system's fear of it simply disappears.
If you're incredibly good at what you do and feel constantly held back, scrutinized, or boxed in, understand this: you haven't necessarily made an enemy.
You have likely tripped the system's most sensitive alarm, the high performer alarm. And here's the dangerous part. Talent alone doesn't tell you how to turn that alarm off. The system does not dream of a brilliant, shining star in its center. It dreams of a perfectly balanced, smooth-running machine of reliable, interchangeable parts. It would rather have 10 predictable, good employees than one spectacular, uncontrollable genius.
Because the system's number one rule isn't excel, it's survive.
There is a way to stay powerful without triggering constant suppression, but it requires a different kind of strength, one the system doesn't feel the need to cage. Most people never learn it, and that's exactly why the system keeps winning. After seeing how systems handle trust, power, rewards, usefulness, predictability, and even their best talent, one last giant question remains.
Is there a way to keep your edge without becoming a threat the system needs to neutralize? If control is the price of stability, then what happens to the freedom we were promised?
Our final chapter tackles the ultimate tension: why freedom requires control. We'll see how the very thing that confines the system might be what makes our own agency possible. It's the coldest and perhaps most liberating idea of all. To find freedom inside the machine, you must first understand why the machine locks its own doors.